Hello and welcome to the new book releases of May the 13th. These will be separated by timestamps? As always, if this is your first time here, though, we'll talk about a few different genres. I'm Morgan. There will be words mispronounced, and I hope you enjoy this video. Thought about redoing the intro, but it gives a very accurate picture of what you're in store for if this does happen to be your first time here. We're going to start with YA this week. It Waits in the Forest by Sarah Drass. Unlike the other residents of the small Caribbean island of St. Virgil, Selena de Silva does not believe in magic. With a logical mind and a knack for botany, Selena used to dream of leaving the island to study pharmacology until a vicious, unsolved attack left her father dead and her mother in a coma. And now her guilt over her mother's condition keeps her tethered to the island, relegated to conning gullible tourists with useless talismans and phony protection rituals. But when one of those tourists ends up at the center of a string of strange murders, the truth that Selena has been denying can no longer be avoided. There is evil lurking in the forest of St. Vigil. The next one up is inspired by actual Korean history. This is A Crane Among Wolves by June Her. Hope is dangerous. Love is deadly. 1506 Joseon. The people suffer under the cruel reign of the tyrant King Yunsun, powerless to stop him from commandeering their land for his recreational use, banning and burning books, and kidnapping and horrifically abusing women and girls as his personal playthings. Content warning for that. We don't know how much is going to be on page or anything. Since it's a YA, I wouldn't assume much, but that means it will be talked about. 17-year-old Isol has lived a sheltered and privileged life despite the kingdom's turmoil. When her older sister Soyeon becomes the king's latest prey, Isol leaves the relative safety of her village. Prince Daeon has lived his whole life in the terrifying shadow of his despicable half-brother, the king. Forced to watch as King Yeosun flaunts his predation through executions and rampant abuse of the common folk, Daehoon aches to find a way to dethrone his half-brother once and for all. The last YA is The Dangerous Ones by Lauren Blackwood. One vampire to kill, another to love. So this is a historical fantasy, romantasy. War doesn't scare Jerusalem, she's a saint. Thanks to a powerful demigod-style reflexes, endurance, and strength, she's fearless. And she has one goal, revenge. But she never expects to team up with the handsome, arrogant Alexei to accomplish it. He's one of those ancient vampires, and ever since her family was enslaved and murdered by one, Jerusalem hates vampires. Now we move into fantasy, and the first one up might be the slightly controversial, depending on your take on it and how things are turning out, but it's finally getting published. This is I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons by Peter S. Beagle. Dragons are common in the backwater kingdom of Belmontaine, coming in sizes from mouse-like vermin all the way up to castle-smashing monsters. Gaius Aurelius Constantine Heliogabalus Thrax, who would much rather people call him Robert, has recently inherited his deceased father's job as a dragon catcher/exterminator, a career he detests with all his heart, in part because he likes dragons, feeling a kinship with them, but mainly because his dream has always been the impossible, one transcending his humble origin to someday become a prince's valet. Needless to say, fate has something rather different in mind. The description, it makes me sound like a grown-up version of How to Train Your Dragon. To be fair, I have not read all of the book, but when I started the book with the kids, it sounded different than the movie at the same time. So, So somebody who's read it, you have to let me know. Next up is When Among Crows by Veronica Roth. We bear the sword and we bear the pain of the sword. Pain is Demeter's calling. His family is one in a long line of hunters who sacrifice their souls to slay monsters. Now he's tasked with a deadly mission, find the legendary witch Baba Yaga. To reach her, Demeter must ally with the ones he's sworn to kill. Pain is Ayla's inheritance. A fear-eating Zamora with little left to lose, Ayla awaits death from the curse she carries. When Demeter offers her a cure in exchange for her help, she has no choice but to agree. Then we have a webtoon that is being bound up and printed for the first time, and this is Covenant by Lysandra Vrong. It says, in a world where priests are decked out in holy tattoos and brandish machine guns in the face of demons, a powerful exorcist and a mysterious boy cross paths in a college classrooms. And this volume is a collection of episodes 1 through 18. Ezra's faith is waning when God intervenes and sends him on a mission to protect Sunny, an outwardly normal human, from demonic forces. Looks can be deceiving, however, as Sunny proves to have hidden secrets and a bloody past nipping at his heels. In Romantasy this week, we start with The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. This one is following 21-year-old Marigold Claude, who has always preferred the company of the spirits of the meadow to any of the suitors who've tried to woo her. So when her grandmother whisks her away to the family cottage on the tiny Isle of Innisfree with an offer to train her as the next Honey Witch, she accepts immediately. But her newfound magic and independence come with a price. No one can fall in love with the Honey Witch. Then we have the second book in the Crimson Sales. It's called Blood on the Tide by Katie Robert. The first book was Hunt on Dark Waters. It's a paranormal romance more than romantasy. This one, though, is following a vampire and a selkie in a meet-cute situation on the high seas. As a bloodline vampire, Lizzie has never had a problem taking what she wants, and right now, she wants the family heirlooms that were stolen from her and a portal home. Too bad, even that short list is impossible to accomplish on her own, and her allies have bigger things to worry about. When they rescue a Silkie from captivity, it's the perfect solution to her problem. Lizzie needs a guide through the threshold, and the Silkie needs someone to help her get her skin back. Moving from there into regular romance, we have The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. Anna Green thought she was marrying Liam Weston for access to subsidized family housing while at UCLA. She also thought she'd signed divorce papers when the graduation caps were tossed, and they both went their merry ways. 3 years later, Anna is a starving artist living paycheck to paycheck, while West is a Stanford professor. He may be one of 4 heirs to the Weston food conglomerate, but he has little interest in working for the heartless corporation his family built from the ground up. He's interested, however, in his $100 million inheritance. There's just one catch. Due to an antiquated clause in his grandfather's will, Liam won't see a penny until he's been happily married for 5 years. That's why they got married in college. Our next one is a bookish romance, so always high hopes with that, though I definitely don't know how to pronounce this Irish name. It's Love at First Book by Jen McKinley. Emily Allen, a librarian on Martha's Vineyard, has always dreamed of a life of travel and adventure. So when her favorite author, Siobhan Riordan, offers her a job on the Emerald Isle, Emily jumps at the opportunity. After all, Riordan's novels got Em through some of the darkest days of her existence. Helping Riordan write the final book in her acclaimed series after a 10-year hiatus due to a scorching case of writer's block is a dream come true for Emily. If only she didn't have to deal with Riordan's son, Kieran Murphy. He manages Riordan's bookstore, and the grouchy bookworm clearly doesn't want Em around. Our thriller this week is The Hunter's Daughter by Nicola Solvenik. Anna Corey escaped her father's darkness long ago. When she was a girl, her childhood memories were sealed away from her conscious mind by a controversial hypnosis treatment. She's now a decorated sheriff's lieutenant, serving in a royal county, conducting an ordinary life far from her father's shadow. Then to Anna's horror, a serial killer emerges who is copying her father, and who knows who she really is. Is her father still alive, or is this the work of another? Will the killer expose her, destroying everything she's built for herself? The fiction this week is also maybe a little mystery, women's fiction things. The Witches of Bolinas by J. Nicole Jones. Tansy and her husband Guy are the newest arrivals in Bolinas, a lush oasis tucked into the coast of Northern California, where a reclusive creative community is beginning to take shape. Helmed by Guy's cousin Mia, a famous model-turned-wellness luminary, and her tech mogul husband, the group renounces the outside world in pursuit of purity, fashioning their own rules about what to eat and how to live. Everything seems perfect in Bolinas. Food is abundant, flowers are always in bloom, and nearby wildfires leave the town remarkably unscathed. While Guy is happy in their new lives, Tansy becomes more and more suspicious of the community and increasingly desperate to save her already fragile marriage. Let's end the week with some nonfictions. The first up being the official Stardew Valley cookbook, because it looks adorable. It's the first official cookbook from the immensely popular Stardew Valley, featuring more than 50 delightful recipes straight from the video game. It's written in collaboration with independent game creator Concerned Ape and packaged with original illustrations and food photography. The original Stardew Valley cookbook helps you bring the valley's incredible flavors to the dinner table, giving you the energy to take on the world. By Concerned Ape and Ryan Novak. Then we have Down with the System, a memoir of sorts, by Serge Tankian. In Down with the System, Serge presents readers with a memoir that is far more than just a rock and roll fable. It's an immigrant's tale, it's an activist's awakening, and it's a spiritual journey from the darkness toward light. And all of this comes down to the fact that Serge himself has had the chance to live an extraordinary life thanks to a combination of luck, circumstance, struggle, talent, and spiritual awakening. That's all for this week's list. Maybe you found something new to go pick up or at least add to your TBR. And if there's any books that you know of coming out this week that I didn't mention, drop it in the comments down below so we can all check them out. And if this was your first time here and you enjoyed this video, you can go check out some of my other ones and please subscribe. That way you can come back every Monday and not miss any of the new releases videos. I hope you're finding something awesome to read today, and I'll see you in the next one.